Welcome to the regular meeting of Council number 11. Today's date is August 24th, and the meeting is being held at 5:30. As per usual, this meeting is also being broadcast on our YouTube channel, and the link can be found on our website. Did want to apologize to the public before we get going here. We did have some issues with our website today. So I'm not sure if that got rectified before now, but we were having some issues with the website and weren't able to upload the agenda as per our normal target of around lunchtime. So sorry about that, but sometimes you do have issues with technology, and today we definitely had that. So before we get going, attendees at the meeting today from Council, we've got Deputy Mayor Buckle, we've got Councillor Kim Ganney, Councillor Roger Mayette, and Councillor Sadie King. From staff, we've got Steve Martin, Krista Turnbull, Fire Chief Evan Woodford, Gary Corbett, Marjorie Gibbons. I don't think I've missed anybody there. So let's move into the meeting. So we'll call the meeting to order and the adoption of the agenda. Could I have a mover for that, please?
Moved by the Deputy Mayor.
Moved by the Deputy Mayor. Seconder.
Councillor King.
Seconded by Councillor King. Discussion? Okay, if no discussion, all those in favor? Aye.
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 And against? Motion is carried. Okay, I think we are missing one thing here on the agenda. I don't see the adoption of the minutes from last meeting. So we'll add that to the agenda there now. So the minutes for the last meeting were sent out. I hope everyone has had an opportunity to review them. Are there any errors or omissions from the minutes of the last meeting? Okay, if not, we'll adopt those as tabled. So moving right along, item number 2 is the mayor's update. So a fairly short update this week, but the first order of business, I would like to express our condolences to the family of Mr. Edward Dwyer. Edward, better known as Ed around town, was a valued employee at the town of Holyrood. Ed had 20 years of dedicated service and was a member of QP Local 3768. And Mr. Dwyer retired on August 31st, 2007. Even after his retirement, the town staff still relied pretty heavily on Ed for his knowledge of the town's infrastructure. And he was always a person that, from talking with staff, that you could always depend on him helping you when he could. So Ed was definitely a true gentleman, and he gave freely of his time to the community and also the church. So we'd like to express our deepest condolences to Joyce and the Dwyer and Colley families, and that comes from myself, council, staff, and also the residents of Holyrood. So moving along, some other updates, some other points for the mayor's update. So as we've been saying for a while now, the nomination period is now open for the upcoming municipal election. Election date is still September 28th. Nominations open today. So today was the first day. Not sure if we've received any candidates yet. But once the nomination period closes, we will release the full slate of candidates. And we encourage everybody in town to definitely give it some consideration. It's a very worthwhile venture, I would say, for young and old alike. You at the end of the day, you sometimes feel good for doing some worthwhile things for your town. Not an easy job by no means, but nevertheless, it's one that needs to be done, and it'd be great to see another great council get put in place for the next 4 years. So that's about it for my update for this evening. So let's move on to planning and development. Councillor Ganney.
Thanks, Mayor. But number 3 is correspondence. Did we have any?
We do not.
Okay. All right. Planning and development. First item is 28 Harborview Drive. zoning is RMD, and the proposal is residential with variance. So be it resolved that the town of Holyrood approve the above residential application and variance in principle, subject to the town of Holyrood development regulations. So moved.
Sorry, I'm on mute again. Moved by Councillor Ganny. Can I have a seconder?
Deputy Mayor.
Seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Discussion.
Just a little bit more detail on the variance. The applicant requested a variance to allow reduction in the rear yard from 12 meters to 10.8 meters, which is 10%. And a variance notice was delivered to area residents, and there were no comments received by the deadline date.
Okay. Any comments from anybody else on this application? So as Councillor Ganny alluded to, this has been advertised. First of all, we advertised the variance, and now there was no comments on the variance. So this is the actual application for the building process. So if there's no other comments, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion's carried. Item B.
Excellent. 14, the Valley. Zoning is RMD. Proposal is residential. Be it resolved that the town of Holyrood approve the above application in principle, subject to the town of Holyrood development regulations. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Ganny. Can I have a seconder?
Deputy Mayor.
Councillor King.
Seconded by Councillor King. Any discussion on this one?
This one's pretty straightforward.
Okay, that's good. It's a lovely spot down there in the valley, I must say.
Really is.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And those against? Motion's carried.
Okay, item C, Development Regulations Amendment number 14, 2021. Be it resolved that the town of Holyrood approve Development Regulations Amendment number 14, 2021 to amend general industry condition of 4A of the rural land use zone table to add recreation uses along with forestry and agriculture uses to allow a general industry use such as a warehouse in the rural land use zone. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Ganny. Do I have a seconder?
Councillor King.
Seconded by Councillor King. Discussion.
This amendment was advertised with no comments received by the deadline. And the purpose of it would be to allow things like warehouse use for items such as recreational vehicles, travel trailers, or other off-season recreational vehicles in this rural land use zone.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, this is the amendment. This is not an application, right? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions, queries? Okay. If no one else, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And those against? Motion's carried. Thank you, Councillor Ganny. And we'll keep it with you for the recreation update.
People are going to be sick of hearing from me. Okay, here we go. Recreation and community events updates. Okay. So I have a few items to bring forward. At our last committee meeting on August 6th, I believe it was, we discussed the trailway and how we can improve that with safety for all users, of course, at the forefront. Staff will review the most commonly used sections, which is really from Marina Shores to Woodford Station area, and we'll make plans to address the more troublesome areas, with the areas in the roughest shape being the priority, of course. The committee is also looking at introducing a signage strategy and some other options to try and improve the experience for all users, which include, of course, pedestrians, bike riders, and ATV users. In our last public meeting, I did mention the unsafe use of the trailway by some motorized users, certainly in the minority, not the majority, in particular, some users of dirt bikes. And I just want to reiterate that it's extremely important for anyone witnessing dangerous activity that I myself witnessed and others last month to please report these issues to the RCMP. They track any complaints that are made to them, and they do follow up. And based on the volumes of complaints, from what we understand, is that they will increase patrols in the area. So if anybody does witness anything particularly dangerous, unsafe, what have you, that please bring it to the RCMP, as they would be the ones to enforce the rules and regulations of the land. The next item, our fall festival will be a go pending the continued easing of public health restrictions. Enjoyment of all as in as positive ways possible. The dates to have our fall festival are Thursday, October 21st to Sunday, October 24th. The programming is still under development, and we do still have the very popular Hoedown scheduled for the Sunday, again, pending COVID restrictions. And we do hope all of our residents will come out and participate, because, you know, it's always a really fun event for families. Next item, the Highland Park slide, which we've been planning to install for some time now. There was a delay experienced related to the vendor's ability to deliver the piece of infrastructure. And I believe that was related to COVID. That's what we've heard. So we are still hoping to have it installed by mid-September. At the Salmon Line Playground, we are pleased to report the installation of an accessible swing is underway, with the rubberized surface for that swing slated to be installed by the end of this week. And, you know, we know that it's people can get frustrated with this, you know, type of construction stuff that may interfere with their use of the playground. And we do want to thank residents for their patience, as we do add this very important piece of infrastructure, which allows for increased enjoyment of the facility by users of all abilities. Inclusion is at front of mind in our development of our recreational facilities, including plans to introduce accessible concrete steps to Holy Cross Swim Park. It's something we've talked about for a little while now, and we do plan to look at all of our facilities with this in mind as we grow. From a fall programming perspective, our recreation director, Steve, is looking to identify some space for the fall programming, as the community center is currently rented out to the Marine Institute. So other locations are being considered, and Steve's working with these sites to identify appropriate space for the different activities that we have planned. And the final item for me, Mayor, is the Salmon Line Park Plan report is in draft, and it'll be reviewed by our Recreation Community Events Committee at our next meeting on August 31st. It will then be released to the public and the town. The town will take a phased-in approach to improve on and introduce new amenities based on the survey completed by residents that indicated their priorities. How our residents want to see our recreational facilities grow in our community for their families and for themselves, so that we can address and introduce recreational opportunities for people of all ages, from, you know, tots right on up to our seniors. So we want to make sure that when we look at that park plan, that we take all of these considerations to the forefront, and that we take the input that we collected from our survey, from our residents, in how they want to see that area developed. So that's going to be a piece of work that we're going to be looking at this fall. And that is it for me. Did anybody have any questions or comments on any of that?
Any questions from any councillors on the update from Councillor Gani? Okay. Yeah, so I you know, just a few comments from myself. I think the recreation park plan, Councillor Gani, will be a very useful report and document to have in hand. You know, there's lots of great recreation amenities that you know, have been identified through residents and even council and staff. Until we've, you know, commissioned this report and now almost have the report in hand, it's kind of just been, you know, when someone brought up the idea, we would consider it. Now it'll be a well thought out plan, and when we want to implement certain portions of it, we can. We hopefully should know, you know, for instance, where a splash pad will be ideally located, or where a multi-use court will be ideally located. So if, you know, the council of the day decides they want to take on one of these initiatives, a lot of the front end work should already be done.
Absolutely. And we should also we'd be remiss if we didn't thank everybody who took the time to complete the survey and have their opinions and their thoughts known to us.
Agree,
So
yeah.
thank you to everybody who's done that.
Yeah, we had some great responses, didn't we, from the
We did, yeah.
from the public, from for the park plan and also for the trail master plan.
Yeah.
So it was great to see. Great to see for sure. One other comment from myself on the ATV usage. We continue to say this to residents. It is very, very important, like Councillor Ganny highlighted. When you see unsafe acts, it's very important to call the RCMP and report it. Don't look at yourself as being a snitch or whatever. You could potentially be saving someone's life by doing this. It's a very painless process. It takes literally 45 seconds. I've done it. You call the general RCMP number. They take your information, and my experience has been within less than 5 minutes. And every time I've called, there's been an officer has called me back to specifically discuss my complaint. So they are definitely receptive to this, and they need the data. They need the data to understand where patrols must be increased. And it also helps them when they go to government looking for, new funding and whatnot. So that's very important, and we ask all residents to report on safe acts. So that's it from myself. So you got nothing else, Councillor Ganny, do you?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on to infrastructure and public works. Councillor Maya.
Yeah, so we have a few things here. So soccer field upgrades. So right now the contractor is moving through the project. The sod's placed on the field, and the contractor estimates that the multi-purpose building to be completed within 2 to 3 weeks. And I must say that I've been up there a couple of times already, and it's a huge difference what was there before. And it's just so nice to have it all leveled out. So there's no trees kind of blocking the view of the soccer field, and it really is something to be seen. The next thing, the 2021 ditching contract is moving forward with multiple areas of the town to be ditched. Some of the roads affected are Ryan's Road, Green Acres, North Side Road, Carroll's Road, McGraw's Road, Godson's Road, Bowen's Pond Discharge at Route 60, and Beaver Brook Place. Some roads have been completed, such as Healy's Cove, North Side Road, and Back Road. Next, we have the culvert. So the 2021 town culvert replacement has been completed. That included North Side Road, Bitches Crescent, Duff's Road, and Kenny's Lane. These areas we paved when the paving schedule was finalized. And yes, speaking of that, we'll have some motions that will have some paving in it. So, okay, so we'll move on to the motions. First motion, Horizon Drive road upgrade. Be it resolved, the town of Holyrood approve the upgrades to the town-owned road identified as Horizon Drive. The proposed improvements include 600 meters of road upgrades to the entrance of the industrial park land, as well as improvements to the intersection at Lean Hickey to improve public safety by correcting existing sightline deficiencies. The cost of the project is $3,041, $540.81. Will be shared through a legal agreement with Blue Ocean Partners. The agreement identifies an expenditure of $143,405 from Blue Ocean Partners, and from the town will be $85,000 from the industrial park land sales, and the remaining $135.81 will be over the next 24 months and access to future land sales. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Myatt. Seconder, please.
Councillor Ganny.
Seconded by Councillor Ganny. Discussion.
Just a quick note. So basically what it is that in order for us to expand the Blue Ocean Industrial Park, the Department of Transportation said that we cannot use Horizon Drive the way it is now. It's very steep. It's on a very sharp corner. So it was always been dangerous, but for them now they're saying you can't use it anymore. So basically they're telling us that we have to go ahead and have a better road with better sight lines. So what we're doing is the incinerator road that's right beside Horizon Drive, that's less steep. So we're going to go ahead and use that road and go up and meet Horizon Drive up towards the top. So that's kind of what we're doing here now. One thing to note is that there will be an official intersection with a better road down by the White Metal Dump entrance that will be paid by the developer, and that should be supposed to be completed by December of 2022. So that road will be done by 100% by the developer. The road we're tackling now is just to satisfy the Department of Transportation and get a better road in there to reduce any kind of safety issues that they have. And just from Blue Ocean Partners up to the incinerator road. So basically, it's a town road. We were taking the responsibility of getting it upgraded and everything, due to the fact that DOT wants us, or Department of Transportation wants us to do that. And the Blue Ocean Partners came and said, listen, we want to throw some money your way. So they actually are giving the town $143,000 and $405 to go ahead and pave the road for us, which I think is a great gesture. And that's it.
Any other comments?
Yes.
Yes, this is.
Go ahead, Councillor Gani.
Thanks. In reviewing this motion and the work that's being done around it, I think it's important that we recognize that it's going to address safety in that area. For the line of sight and the grade, it's important that everybody recognizes that this is a town-owned road, and it really is our responsibility to do any upgrades if it's going to be in use. So. I support the motion, and I think it's just going to demonstrate to any potential investors that we are committed to our town and making sure that we have the proper infrastructure in place. And as Roger indicated, that the new roads in the area to be developed will be the full responsibility of the developer. So I do support it. Thank you.
Councillor King, I think that was you cutting in there as well.
Yeah, Kevin, I'd like to say that this is a very important motion for the future of our town, because our town relies heavily on this industrial park. And right now we have a lot of interest from a lot of major businesses who are looking to go to the park. And if we don't provide a road for them to get there, then you can know where they're going, somewhere else. We also this year have a decrease in our assessments of $160,000. So this has to be made up somewhere along the line. Now, we can make it up by increasing taxes. And to me, that's not even an option. If we do the mill rate, that's not an option. We can cut services, not an option. But if we make our town a friendly place to do business, then we're going to get this money back through business tax. And that's what our CAO and Economic Development Officer and all the staff have been striving to do throughout this term. And, we can also look at what the industrial park has brought to this town. Many projects have been completed with money from the sale of that land. And last but not least, there's the safety issue. And we all know from driving Liam Hickey Drive how many trucks are using that intersection. And one of these days, if there's an accident, there's nothing can replace a life or the injuries that a person receives there. So, in all honesty, I'm going to vote for this motion.
Thank you, Councillor King. Anybody else?
Deputy Mayor here, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead, sir.
I echo what all my fellow councillors have already touched base and made their comments, and I echo what they're saying. This industrial park for the residents of Holyrood, there's an economic driver for our town. There's some great work happening up there. We're going to draw some new business in our industrial park. And the vision, as Councillor King said, we want to be able to keep our town very stabilized in tax and not have tax increase. And by generating and getting new business into our town is going to be an economic driver, plus creating jobs. We hope that there'll be jobs created in this industrial park. And, for doing projects and stuff and new residential people moving into the Holyrood for the amenities around here. We're talking about our recreation infrastructure. Councillor Gani talked about a little while ago, and putting money back into those projects, like the soccer field is a beautiful job happening, but there is a cost of there's a lot of money funded through the government towards the soccer field, but there is a cost that the town has to pay. And with getting more business tax in Holyrood, I think is the way to move.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Or no, that's all of us now, isn't it? We got a smaller group these days. Okay, so if there's no more comments, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
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 And anybody against? Motion's carried. Where are we to, Councillor Myers?
We're
Item
6C,
C.
so gas tax. Okay, another motion. Be it resolved, the town of Holyrood submit a gas tax application to complete paving of Godson's Road, a distance of 5 meters by 100 meters, costing $23,711.33. Marina Road East Side, a distance of 3.8 meters by 54.54 meters, costing $11,686.59. And Northside Road, a distance of 6 meters by 30.5 meters, for a cost of $10,281.96. The total application of gas tax will be $45,679.88, HST included. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Myers. I have a seconder.
Deputy
Councillor
Mayor.
King.
Seconded by the Deputy Mayor, I think was the first in there. Discussion.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, this is the Deputy Mayor. I'd like to comment. Over the last few years, council is trying to do some culvert replacement, which some areas was, culverts were in rough shape and some ditching. But also the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee have identified several areas throughout the town that needs pavement, and we'd like to be able to do them all, but we can't do them all. So we're doing the worst sections, and we're moving forward on that. I think it's a great job being done. Yes, we'd love to have all the roads that needs pavement paved, but hopefully we'll get there over time.
Thank you, sir. Any more comments on this motion? Okay. If no more comments, definitely some fairly bad sections of pavement we've got identified there. So it'll be great to get those done. And there's some motions a little further down where we're going to do a little more paving. So let's move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And against? Motion's carried.
Okay, next one. Be it resolved, the town of Holyrood award Weir's Construction the paving contract for local roads identified in the town of Holyrood paving tender issued July 29th, 2021. These roads include sections of Northside Road at civic addresses 3, 39, 47, 115, 129, 131, as well as Bitches Hill, number 16, Duff's Road, number 35, and Tappan Place, Route 60 intersection. The total cost of paving contract is $21,069.88, HST included. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Myers.
Deputy Mayor.
By a seconder. Seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Discussion. Okay. If no discussion, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And against? Motion's carried. So the next, we're on E now, correct, Councillor Myers?
Yes, correct.
So I'm going to have to declare a conflict on this motion because I live on that road. So if council is in agreement with that, I will ask to be put in the waiting room. So Steve, if you can put me out, please.
Okay, thank you. This is another paving tender. Be it resolved, the town of Holyrood award Weir's Construction the paving contract for the upgrade of a works road for the cost of $59,771.29. The funds from this project have been approved through the gas tax. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Myatt. Do I have a seconder?
Councillor Ganny.
Councillor Ganny. Discussion? If no discussion, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion carries. Steve.
Okay, I'm back there now. So we're all done. Item
Okay,
E. Are we,
moved.
Councillor Myers? Okay, so let's move to F.
Okay. This is around the Country Path Water System Upgrade Change Order. So be it resolved, the town of Holyrood approved change order 1 dated August 18th, 2021 for project 17-GI-20-00020 Country Path Water System Upgrade in the amount of $36,637.03. This change order is necessary due to changes in quantities resulting from massive amounts of unsuitable material in the excavation that could not be reused. This resulted in increased amounts of imported material and rock under bedding for the pipe. The cost of this change order is $36,637.03, $33,749.36 of which can be found in the approved project budget. The 2891.67 overrun would be from the town. So
moved by Councillor Myatt. Can I have a seconder?
Councillor King.
Seconded by Councillor King. Discussion. Okay, no discussion. So this project is now completed. I can't say for certain if there's any punch list items to be completed. If there are, I think they're very, very minor. But the section of Country Path looks very, very nice at the moment. Some nice new blacktop for the full width. Shoulders are newly installed. Ditching is done properly, and new culverts have been installed in the area. So great piece of work. Luckily, we're able to get most of the cost overrun covered in the original project budget. So that's always a good thing. So if there's no other comments, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion's carried. Deputy Mayor, can we have your update for business development and marketing, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I got a few points here. First of all, there are 3 active business applications which are moving through our system, and we are working with all departments to help the business get to the point where the applications can be moved forward. Next point there is the wayfinding project. This signage strategy is very important to improving tourism, as we need residents to help us collect important information required to make this project a success. There is a survey on our website, and we are asking residents to go to holyrood.ca and complete that survey. Your input is extremely important, and that's when we approved a while back, Mr. Mayor, in a motion of council where we stepped up with CBS, and other towns CBS was looking after it, and that's to have the same kind of signage coming from St. John's in towards Holyrood for tourism and making it easier for people to find attractions in everyone's town. The Oceana RFP for the development of a research and innovation park is presently advertised. We have had several requests for the RFP, and we are waiting for the closing date so we can begin the evaluation process and move to a recommendation. And that's the land that down off the roundabout area that we have identified for the Oceana area for research and development. And we do have people that's interested, companies and businesses that is interested in looking at and have picked up the RFP. And it doesn't close until August the 31st. So, I mean, if there's anyone out there, there's still time to get that package and have a look at it and see if you want to put in a proposal. And also the Heritage, we had a meeting with the Heritage there, and we got an update from the Heritage. Heritage has chosen Thanksgiving month is October 2021. And they're going to host an exposition honoring the medical professions within Conception Bay Center. We assure you this will be an event to attend with stories featuring the midwives, nurses, and doctors serving the area. Included in that expedition, will be medical artifacts from the mid-1800s. They've collected a tremendous amount of artifacts down there, and it's unbelievable. Also, a sign will arrive this week, which will host our memorial exhibition of Jerry Squire's contribution to the arts in our community, our province, and as well to the world. We've been honored to receive the entire contents of the Newfoundland rooms collected by Everett O'Toole, a collector from the age of 12 years old. So as I just indicated, they've got the artifacts that they got down there is unbelievable. If anyone hasn't been to the museum, it was amazing, and I think everyone, if they can make time to stop in and have a look. That group of volunteers is doing a tremendous job down there, and I think it's our history, the history of our town, and the museum is a great asset to our town. And I think they've done very well this summer. Since the pandemic lifted a bit, there's people stopping by and going through and are amazed of what collection that we have at the museum. I'd like to say a big thank you to that group of individuals. They put a lot of time and effort into volunteering and making the history, getting the history taken care of in our town in the museum. And I think we all owe them a big round of applause for the amount of work they do.
Deputy Mayor, just before you move off that point, what date did you say was for that event?
It's going to be in October. They're going to have an announcement, and we're going to post it to our website, and it's going to be advertised and stuff. But they're aiming for the Thanksgiving month of October.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be my suggestion. Just take an action to get that posted on the website, but I guess we don't really know yet. So
yeah, no, and we'll work with them when we get that date. We'll get it advertised and get it out there.
Okay.
And I'm sure that that group of individuals will have their advertisement out around the community also. And my last point is the industrial park. There's 6 clients have letters of interest ready to become tenants of the Blue Ocean Industrial Park. Once the road network is complete, this will bring great economic benefit to the town as well as a strong tax base. And we've already talked on the industrial park there. There's some good points made from councillors around the motion there on their infrastructure and public works. And that's it for me, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Any questions on the business development marketing update from the Deputy Mayor? Okay, corporate services, Councillor King. I guess is that time when we got to pay the bills, isn't it?
Pay the bills, that's right. But this evening we're going to do a little bit better than paying all the bills. We have some money coming in too. That's
always good and always welcome.
So we have a bank book balance this evening of $1,121.35. From the general account, be it resolved that accounts is tabled in the amount of $200,259.05, check number DO2014 to DO2102 and 042330 to 0424